Hi everybody, it's me again, Beth Maitland with Drama Queen Bee Quilts. Another question to answer. People that use strip piecing in their quilt construction have asked, how do you prevent the strips that are the width of fabric, or if you're using a jelly roll, those long 2.5-inch strips, when you sew them all together to create a body, a composite body from which you can subcut, how do you prevent them from arcing at one end? There are two schools of thought. First of all, the first school is that when you attach with the fabric similar sized strips, when you're strip piecing, if you start with the two right sides facing together and do a 1/4-inch seam all the way down that long side, if you turn it over and attach the next third strip, sew backwards the other direction. Part of what's happening is the feed dogs on the underneath side of your regular construction sewing machine are working to kind of stabilize that bottom piece and sort of feed that bottom piece through, and it sometimes stretches. The top fabric doesn't get that extra pull with the feed dogs, and so that sometimes changes the tension of the seam. So it's possible that the top fabric actually is not stretched, the bottom fabric actually is stretched, and at the very end of your seam there might be a little room for play. So if you sew in both directions, one side of that 2.5-inch strip, one side or the other at any one time, is going to be getting that feed dog assistance, and so that will equalize the stripping. Now, the second school of thought is that doesn't matter. The second school of thought is the most important thing is the pressing. When you go to, you've constructed maybe your 6 or 7 or 8 pieces of strips, and now you've got a big wide composite piece from which you're going to subcut. You take that to the pressing table, and you're going to now press that before you can start cutting. Some people think that if you press with the seams open, it weakens the stitch line for future use. So you want to press to one side or the other. So when you're pressing, you just have to be really careful to sort of even all of that stuff out and just press, not iron. Don't push on those seams. 100% cotton fabric is very easy. It's very pliable and very easy to stretch out of proportion. So you want to just press when you open those seams and get them ready for neatening it all up to subcut. Not push, not iron. And especially batiks are very, very difficult to keep flat without pulling. You'll get a lot of lacy edge ruffling and lettuce edges on batiks. It's possible to really stretch those when you press them. So pressing in the second school of thought is the key. I hope that answered the question. You can absolutely correct problems in your quilt using each of these techniques if you're aware of them. You can make 2 squares of fabric that are slightly off fit by remembering to use the feed dogs. The bigger piece should go where on top of where the feed dogs are. That should be the top piece, and the feed dogs will slightly pull the smaller piece to match. And by the end of your construction of that square, your edges will meet. So if you have a problem with pressing, often a little bit of steam and an extra little pull on the press will slightly manipulate the fabric enough to square up those edges. So you can use both of those schools of thought to your advantage. I hope that helps and answers your question. Please email me or through my website, which I'll tell you in a minute, or tweet me or visit my Facebook page and ask me any further questions you'd like me to address. And I'm happy to see you today. Thank you for tuning in. It's Beth Maitland from Drama Queen Bee Quilts. You can find me online at www.bethmaitland.com. My Facebook page is Drama Queen Bee Quilts, and you can tweet me at Beth Maitland DQB. Have a great day. Let's get quilting.